It was a shock to, I think, everyone, especially the performing arts industry. We were the first ones to feel the effect, along with, the sports industry. Any place with mass gatherings felt it first, and we're probably going to be the last ones to really open back up to full potential.
It was both shocking and to be expected. At Capitol Centre, we'd already pulled our programming starting, I think I'm going to say 9th March. But at that point, it brought it home that we were in a different world for some time.
It was a very different vibe to the building. Some of it I wasn't even in the building, working from home. I still got to talk to lots of patrons because of all the reschedulings and canceled shows. So I still got to interact with them, which was great, but certainly having no live events in a live event venue was a big change. I look after and oversee the box office and all ticketing operations, as well as all the front of house stuff. I became a department of one quite quickly, and so I was basically the only point of contact for all of our patrons. And at the time that lockdown started, we had many shows. And just sort of not knowing what that meant for our patrons, for us as staff, for our volunteers, or what the Capitol Centre would look like moving forwards. It was scary.
Just getting into dealing with all of the people that had booked events, the clients and the ticket holders, it felt like you were going 12 rounds every single day, because everyone is dealing with it in their own way, and we can do nothing but try and be understanding of their situation.
It was the first time I'd looked at my weekly schedule and realized that I could do some upkeep all week, for instance. It was super weird. Everything that we wanted to do was subject to directives from the health unit, and there was nothing we could do for a long while. The first thing we were able to do was to get permission to have 1 or 2 artists on stage, socially distanced, far from myself, and I would come in and record them. We rented video equipment, and I would record a performance on stage. Then our IT department would broadcast that free of charge from our website. At the time, we just needed to put out some kind of public presence, remind people that we're going to be there when things change back to something nearing normal. The regulations that we work by are the Reg 21 film and television regulations. They were in place very quickly, and they were a really useful touchstone for all production industries.
It was hard at first to accept that the arts and culture community was essentially not essential. Because to me, my whole life, my whole work here, work that I do outside of the gallery, is because I feel like we cannot go on without it. So it was a weird dynamic of okay, I'm gonna do my role and step back, but how do I still provide, that something, that thing that will make whoever is locked up in their home still, feel a little bit alive. So it was finding my personal place in it, finding my place as the director, and seeing what can I do to still make this work. I just feel like the things that I tried to do during the lockdown were not necessarily at all in line with what I try and do in person, because all I try and do in person is create an environment. I couldn't do that. So I tried to create those conversations to be had and viewed. I made magazines for people to, share and be a part of. I created challenges to, try and get just people inspired, because sometimes you just kind of need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a guidance. The arts in general, and that can be, very, very vast. What that provides for someone, I think, was so important that if I was able to spark that in someone else, then it was worth me getting out of bed that day. So I think it's just my passion about how important the arts are kept me going. And again, that every day wasn't easy to remember.
as a team here, we started getting creative with live streaming, online programming, adapting seating plans. I'm back at work, so that's physically, so that's great. And we've actually been welcoming staff back after layoffs, so that's been amazing, and I think they're pretty happy to be here, and I am ecstatic to have them. We have been doing shows. We just finished Blues Festival, 4-day festival. Because of rain, it took place inside, but that went really well. And you know, we had patrons in our building again, more than 50. We're still at limited capacity, but it was enough that you could feel the energy of the crowd. The crowd quite obviously loved the entertainment, and it was just nice to hear, you know, cheering and clapping in the theater.
This weekend, I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen in the building in a year and a half, and a lot of them came up and just thanked me. And, you know, thank you for bringing back the music, thank you for bringing back arts and entertainment. And it's not me. If it wasn't for them and their desire to be back here, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So there really is a great desire to be back in the theater, and we're hoping that that continues. So we really look forward to having everyone back and keeping everyone safe and returning to the Capitol Center.
I think we're always going to be streaming from here on in. I don't think that's going away, and I think there's an awareness of health and safety that's different across the industry. I'm hearing a lot of good dialogue about other health and safety and self-care that hasn't been talked about ever.
I reached people who prior to pandemic couldn't come out for whatever reason. Health reasons, physical reasons, distance reasons, all these different things that had reached out to me and say, can you please continue doing that? Or can you please keep sharing the videos of the exhibition, because like I might not be COVID bound, I'm health bound, or you know, I can't physically make it there because I can't drive anymore, or whatever it may be. So it kind of opens your eyes a little bit to that whole other world of people who are stuck at home for whatever reason it may be. And making sure that as a public art gallery, I'm still providing a service to them. So it's been a few months now that I'm back in the gallery, and I haven't quite figured it all out yet. And I think that's gonna be a day-by-day situation.
You know, it's a gathering place, a place where people come together to experience music and different activities and just be social. It's a place where people come to celebrate. It's a place where people come to mourn and remember loved ones. We do everything from weddings to celebrations of life to graduations and shows. We're not just a one-trick pony. We really are a place for the community, and that's really what it's about.